Kaluma, member for Homa Bay Town.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me a chance to contribute to this particular one as a member of the Departmental Committee on Finance and Economic Planning. Madam Speaker, up to this morning, you've seen very many of our media houses making publications about intentions by the current government to increase the taxes. I wanted to confirm that that is the reason as to why, when we have a chance to confirm to the nation that that is not an intent, we have to thank you for allowing us to do so. Honorable Speaker, I sit in this committee which deals with taxation, and really that bill the media is talking about is not known to us. And let me confirm, Honorable Speaker, to the nation that it is Parliament that taxes. In fact, the main reason as to why parliaments exist is on the principle that there can be no taxation without representation. So these appearances they keep making that President Ruto or anybody outside of this house is imposing taxes is very wrong. It is insightful. And when we have a chance to demonstrate that the intent of this parliament is to the contrary, Honorable Speaker, we thank you for the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, through the Tax Laws Amendments Acts of 2024, we imposed 25% excise duty on fully assembled transformers. And I think members ought to understand this clearly, because I'm hearing members contributing confusing parts, assembled, non-assembled. It was an imposition on fully assembled transformers. And it was hoped that if we made that imposition, Honorable Speaker, then the parts of transformers would be low, or locally manufactured transformers would be lower in cost. And so we would be spurring new industries to come to assemble and make this more available while creating employment opportunities also for our people. Honorable Speaker, contrary to that intent, and this is important, Kenya is a member of the East African Community, Common Customs External Tariff. And under that external tariff arrangement, all member states of the East African Community impose this tax under the same tariff code for both imported parts and fully assembled transformers. So that when we thought, even though we don't have companies which can manufacture transformers, the ones which can assemble would be getting the parts at a lower excise duty because we imposed 25 on the fully assembled. The fact of the matter is that both fully assembled and the parts to be assembled locally under the East Africa Community Common Customs External Tariff Arrangement attract the same 25%. So that, in effect, we have not achieved the economic intent we intended by this amendment. And it's for that reason, Honorable Speaker, that I want to agree with the committee and everybody that if you are going to spur economic growth, if you are going to spur industry, and this is a good intervention coming from Parliament on behalf of government. Honorable Speaker, let me confirm that we've seen people sometimes saying, oh, our old president was launching a transformer somewhere. The fact of the matter is that electric power penetration in the country is still very low. Honorable Speaker, my constituency is called Homa Bay Town. But do you know we are far, far below 30% of electric power penetration. And for some people, while others laugh at it, for some people, if we were to get just a transformer, it is a celebration worth launching. And therefore, any measure, Honorable Speaker, any measure that allows the country to improve on power distribution as a domino effect in terms of lighting up the country, Honorable Speaker, if we lower the cost of transformers, we essentially lower the cost of energy production by lowering the component.
Order, Honorable Kaluma. There's a point of order by the Honorable Elisha Odhiambo. What is out of order?
Mr. Speaker, thank you. I think the Honorable Kaluma has made a statement that the distribution of electricity in respective areas in the country is still very low. He has contradicted the very fact that power distribution in central Kenya is at 89%.
What is
That
out
is a
of-
fact.
What is out of order, Honorable Elisha?
The statement was
The
out of
statement of-
context, and I was just trying to help him to say a fact that Homa Bay, in
So
terms
what
of coverage,
are you
Homa Bay,
assisting the Honorable
Homa
Kaluma
Bay,
to
yeah, I'm
debate?
assisting him. Homa Bay, in terms of coverage,
No, you are out of order.
Honorable Speaker.
You're out of
Honorable
order.
Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for reminding
Maybe I
Honorable.
would have assisted you if you sought to inform the Honorable Kaluma. And I want to be generous.
Do you want to
Would you
inform me?
like to inform?
I don't want
thank
information.
you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Speaker.
That's the
Honorable
Okay,
Speaker, I
then
don't,
the
I don't
Honorable
want
Kaluma
information.
does not want to be
I
informed.
don't want.
Please proceed and conclude.
Yes. Honorable Speaker, the MP for Game cannot purport to inform me about a constituency I represent. He cannot competently inform me. Honorable Speaker, the point I was making is that when some people, chide, go joking, they are saying, oh, our old president is, launching a transformer. The fact of the matter is that in some areas, seeing a transformer is huge. It makes lighting of those rural communities very easy. Everywhere we go, Honorable Speaker, people are now saying, is there going to come a time? Also, our women, who are the backbone of the rural economy, are saying, is there a time I will come home and I just touch the switch and there would be light at home? And so it is a big thing for us. Honorable Speaker, when we reduce the cost of transformers as a component for electric power distribution, the impact is that all our schools and learning institutions which are struggling with electrification will be electrified, and progress in the education sector will be achieved. The fact of the matter, Honorable Speaker, is that parts of our economy which depend on electric power, like the digital economy, Honorable Speaker, we are starting ICT hubs in every ward in the country. You cannot run it without electric power supply. So the fact of the matter is that all that part of the economy, digital economy, our young people who want to apply for jobs on the computers to work externally or to work off-site are going to be moved. Honorable Speaker, the cost of energy is a big issue when we are dealing with the state of our economy. And so as I applaud this intervention by the committee in charge of finance and taxation on behalf of this Parliament, Honorable Speaker, I had proposed, and I want to end by proposing, there would be need, after we reduce the price or the cost of this customs excise, to have a meeting between the committee in charge of finance and the committee in terms of energy, so that we can rationalize what other interventions are affecting the cost of electric power, the cost of petroleum, so that we can have industries which are local. The situation we have now because of cost of energy, Honorable Speaker, is that most of our companies are going to neighboring countries, they are producing cheaply, and they are returning their goods here under this East African common tariff. So there would be need for that meeting, but for this intervention, we thank the committee, we thank this Parliament, and we fully support it as a matter that will not only improve the livelihoods, including health. So many of our health institutions, Honorable Speaker, do not have electric power, and that way, the specimens, the various drugs which need to be refrigerated and kept in particular conditions cannot be kept. And that is, hurting even universal health coverage in the country. So this is a positive intervention. We are confirming to the country that where we need to be reasonable and reduce, we are reducing. The others will be considered as we go along. I support and I urge the honorable members of this House to join the committee in supporting this critical amendment. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Ekomas Mutuse, member for Kibwezi West.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. From the onset, I rise to support the amendments on one particular parallel that I want to draw. 20 years ago, it was not feasible for an ordinary Kenyan to own a motorcycle. However, through progressive interventions, tax interventions and tax reforms by regimes that existed that time, beginning with the Kibaki regime, that culminated into legal notice number 112 of 2020. Today, there are a lot of local assembling of motorcycles, and ordinary Kenyans are able to afford a motorcycle. I draw this parallel also to say that if the intention of this amendment is to spur local assembling of transformers, then already there is an example drawn from what we have seen in terms of motorcycles. However, Madam Speaker, as we do so, I have also looked at the Memorandum of Objects and Reasons. And the Memorandum of Objects and Reasons reads as follows. The principal object of this bill is to amend the Excise Duty Act to remove excise duty on imported fully assembled electric transformers.